What if I told you LiesofP is the best game you probably never played? Would you believe me? Essentially a retelling of the Pinocchio story with a dark twist within a Souls-like formula. If that doesn't hook you enough, this will. I'm gonna talk about the DLC that released a few months ago. It has one of the best stories I've ever experienced in a game since The Witcher 3. I know it's a bold claim, especially in this era of gaming, but nevertheless, LiesofP Overture achieves something no other game has managed to. When you load up the DLC, you're told you're going back in time with P to the first petrification disease outbreak. New bosses, new areas, all that good stuff. But the emotional spine of the DLC is Lea Florence Monad. We know of her from the base game, the fabled legendary Stalker, that Romeo and Carlo once trained under. In Overture, we finally meet her properly. Lea was adopted into the Monad family, taken in and raised by Valentinos and Isabel Monad, essentially a school for kids wanting to become alchemists and stalkers. In one of the letters we find in Valentinos' room, the leader of the alchemists at the Rose Estate, she writes to him years earlier, after she's decided to leave the family and the order behind. She admits she was terrified of being dragged down with the alchemists, staring into their yawning abyss. She outright says she loved the family, but couldn't bear to become them. And then there's the part that cuts. Oh father, it embarrasses me even now, but I truly wish to call you that at least once in my life. She never managed to say it to his face. She only gets it out in a letter she knows he'll read alone. She takes his gift, the rose sword, and promises to use it for something righteous. She walks away from her adoptive family and chooses instead to fight as a stalker. That's the Lea we meet in Overture. Only now she's infected with a disease. Her body is failing and she fully expects to die, but she's still going. Now, if Lea is the emotional center of Overture, Arlecchino, the blood artist, is the knife twisting it. In the base game, we meet him as the king of riddles, a deranged puppet serial killer who once rampaged through Krat, murdering men, women and children to prove puppets were truly people. Eventually, someone stops him. Overture tells us who. Lea did. She cuts him into 9 pieces, arms, legs, body, shredded and thrown away. That's why she's the legendary Stalker. No one else managed it. So when the alchemists rebuild him as part of their experiments, they resurrect a monster with a grudge. He escapes, slaughters his way out and heads for Krat to settle his debt with the legendary Stalker who humiliated him. And he knows how to hurt her. He kidnaps Romeo, one of her 2 apprentices and Carlo's best friend, and leaves these grotesque art pieces made out of bodies and candles as love letters and taunts combined. One of them, the first we see, is in the zoo. Dozens of corpses melted together with wax, arms reaching up like petals into a gigantic flower. It's disgusting. It's also undeniably beautiful, and that's the point. Arlecchino is trying to impress her. He wants her attention. He wants her to come. And in his record message to her, he says it outright. She cut him into 9 pieces. She gave him shame, pain, and it was the greatest moment of his life, because for the first time a human was interesting enough to him, worthy of his study and his time. So where does P fit into all of this? At the start of the DLC, you use the Star Chrysalis, an item that says a white butterfly can embody a wish and carry it across the boundary of time. You can follow it and end up in Krat's past during the first outbreak, and you start walking in Lea's footsteps. Throughout the DLC, you keep intersecting with her story.
I swear I won't be late. Not again. Not like I was with Carlo.
And then you enter the Rose Estate together at the end of the DLC, a place full of ghosts that bound both of them together. Arlecchino slaughtered everyone inside. It's a horrifying sight, but strangely beautiful at the same time. I know it sounds crazy, but the way it's constructed, with the stakes and the music, it's awfully magnificent. This literally made me cry. Props to the acting and the music on display here. I've never seen a video game express so much emotion in just a single scene. Even though it's grotesque and tragic, this moment right here signifies Lea's mistakes and humanity, even P's. Lea crumbles to the ground, blaming herself while you just stand there. We as players know what this means. Our brother's almost dead and we have to rescue him, or whatever is left of him. Though the game etched this story so brilliantly that I felt Lea's pain down to my very bones. Such a marvel in storytelling that few games manage to achieve, especially Soulslikes. That's why LiesofP is special in this regard. It's a traditional tragic way of making you care, this way of storytelling, but it could have flopped. I could have just said, yeah, whatever, and move on. but I didn't. When you step into that arena, Lea is losing. She's outmatched, outpaced, and Arlecchino is enjoying every second of it. The game gives you a choice. You can ignore her and rush the boss alone, or you can sprint to her side and help her up. If you do, you get one of the most emotional moments in the entire game. Carlo's Ergo inside P and Lea Florence fight together back to back one last time. Teacher and student, legendary Stalker and the puppet. Lea and Romeo survive the fight. For a second it feels like you actually changed something. This was one of Krat's great unsolved mysteries and you just watched it happen. But the DLC doesn't let you have the comfort, because in the exact moment that Lea starts to recognize you and gives you the rose sword, P starts to fade. Your job is done, whatever brought you here is satisfied. Lea and Romeo are lying in the garden, broken and exhausted but alive. They hear footsteps, someone approaches. It's Geppetto, carrying the case that holds the nameless puppet, Carlo's original body. We don't see the killing blow, we don't need to. We already know how their story ends. Lea and Romeo vanish from history, their bodies aren't found. Their fate is a mystery to the people of Krat, not to us. They die at Geppetto's hands, so he can take Romeo's Ergo and continue his obsession. So again, why were we even here? The answer is hidden in a place most players will never go. A secret room in Hotel Krat that only unlocks after you've beaten Overture. Behind the gold coin tree, there's a recording. It's Lea talking to Carlo after his original death at the Rose Estate, before the DLC. She remembers playing music with him and Romeo. She admits she was lost after leaving the Monad family. Angry, directionless, consumed by hatred of the alchemists. And then she says that taking on Romeo and Carlo as her apprentices saved her, washed away the spite in her heart. She calls the title Legendary Stalker worthless.
Legendary Stalker. A worthless title. Why is it that we humans always look for more when happiness is already in our grasp? My wish is that I get to sit with you as the light of the sunrise washes over us, and we share a laugh together.
Now tie that back to the Star Chrysalis. A butterfly is said to be another form of a spirit embodying a wish. By following a white butterfly, one may be able to find someone's heartfelt wish that was conveyed across even the boundary of time. It takes Lea's wish to sit with Carlo again, to fight alongside him, to see him one last time. And it grants it in the only way this world allows. She can't get the real Carlo back. Geppetto made sure of that. The nameless puppet is too far gone. But she does get something. She gets to hear his fighting spirit again through P. To fight shoulder to shoulder with him in the garden where everything started. LiesofP Overture will make you cry because when you put all the letters, recordings and little side stories together, you realize the DLC is one long doomed attempt by a dying woman to protect the only good thing she ever had. Thank you very much for watching. This video was very special to me. And don't forget to boop the like button. It's one of those games that stick with you for a long time.